What's going on, people? TJ Fitness News Reviews, and together with me today, Performax Labs Stimulant Party all day long StimMax in the house. Listen guys, I'm going to take you through the label. I'm going to show you all the stimulants that are in this thing, and this is a long ass list of stimulants. I'm going to tell you what they're supposed to do, but then more important than that, I'm going to share with you my personal experience using this baby here for the last 4 or 5 days through about 4 workouts, I think. And I'm going to share with you what I think about this thing. And then right towards the end of this video, I'm going to give you my final verdict. Let's get right into it. Okay guys, Performax Labs. So I reviewed a couple of their products here on the channel. Really like the company, you know, solid, sort of behind the scenes, no flashy zombies or anything like that, but solid products. Almost I want to say that their formulas are with intention. Like you see that the company actually put a lot of thought into the products. I reviewed quite a lot of the products here. I reviewed the Hypermax, their pre-workout, which I really like. I reviewed their other pre-workout. I reviewed their Nootropimax. I reviewed their Oxymax Fat Burner, and I think that's it. Actually, also their pump product. But anyway, long story short, StimMax is a different type of product. So they have Performax Hypermax, which is their fully loaded, all around, let's say more well-rounded pre-workout formula, which means that it has like the pump ingredients, the endurance ingredients, and all that sort of stuff. Like I said, I really like that product. They came out with StimMax, which is, I mean, for a lack of better description, this is like a stimulant cocktail. Like it has this, there's, what is it, like probably like 8 ingredients here, all stimulants and nootropic type elements. There's no beta-alanine, there's no betaine, there's no pump ingredients, there's no nothing. It's just a loaded stimulant formula. Obviously, the idea is to target stim junkies and tell them, listen, if you don't give a shit about anything else but the stimulant effect, then just go and get it with the stimulants. And that's what they did with this product. It comes out in this type of tub. It's 25 servings. Each serving is 6.5 grams, which is, but you say, you know, 6.5 grams for a fully loaded formula is obviously very low, because just if you have like citrullinal at like 6 grams, you'll have 12 grams here, but this is just stims. So it's super concentrated. Now, as far as the stimulant list, I'm going to take you through the ones that you should care about really, like just that you know how many stimulants you're going to get into your body. But then I'm going to share with you my personal experience, which is really the important part here. So I'm going to put the label here because it's a long ass label, and we're going to go through it together, okay? So as far as the stimulant itself, let's start with the caffeine. You have 350 milligrams of caffeine anhydrous plus 100 milligrams of decaffeinated. On top of that, you have 250 milligrams of Araya genesis, that's the long ass name that you see there. Plus you have 2 grams of choline bitrate, which is, you know, that's like for the focus elements. And then, but then you have the dynamine at 100 milligrams. That's, you see 250 milligrams, but it's standardized to 40%. So that's 100 milligrams. That's like the next generation theacrine. That's at least the way that it's promoted. It's supposed to prolong the effect of that caffeine plus decaffeinated. So you get about 400 and some milligrams of caffeine. So it's a lot of caffeine plus that dynamine, which is like the theacrine enhanced. Then on top of that, and this is really where it's interesting, you're getting all these very exotic type nootropic elements on top of the choline. So you're getting hygenamine, you're getting hordenine, you're getting, you see again that big ass name here, that's actually Nuopet. On top of that you get Kana, which is what you see here, Selenium, which is another nootropic stress relief type element, and then you get Huperzine. Listen, people, there is a lot of stimulants in this baby here. Tons of stimulants, almost like, you know what, even though what I said earlier about Performax usually putting a lot of thought into the formula, honestly, this looks like, hey, let's just put every freaking stimulant and nootropic on the planet in this thing. I mean, Nuopet, plus Araya, plus like all this caffeine, plus the dynamine, plus Kana, plus, I mean, it's just like a lot of shit here. It's like just everything around that doesn't have DN at the beginning of it, right? But it's a fully loaded formula for sure. So, you know, as a stim junkie, and you guys, as a lot of you are stim junkies, you're probably thinking, hey, I need to give this a shot. Let me talk to you about my personal experience, because this is what matters. As far as my personal experience, let's start with the flavor. You know, Performax are good with a lot of stuff. Flavor is not necessarily their sweet spot. This one is raspberry lemonade. Let me give you the good news and the bad news. The good news is that it's not offensive, right? Like some of the Performax, like actually Hypermax, had some flavors which were really offensive. And I know some people in the review in the comments said, because I said it's bad, but I can take it. And some people said, oh man, I just can't take it. This one, I think, is better than the Hypermax, like the Performax Hypermax flavor. It definitely doesn't feel like raspberry lemonade. It's not good by any means. It's not a good flavor. You cannot compare it to like a good flavor, but it is not offensive. I can take it and move on with my life without like getting any gag effect. So it is what it is, right? But let's talk about my personal experience. So as far as the formula, listen, I want to put two things in perspective here. One, there's no beta-alanine, there's no anything around that tingling feeling. And I know some of you guys here don't like the beta-alanine tingling, and forget whether it helps with endurance or not, with lactic acid buffering or not. I like the tingling effect. So for me, personally, it was missing in the first couple of workouts that I took. And that's true also for, like, let's say this baby here, Rain, which I really like. I also would rather they add the 3.2 grams of beta-alanine so I get that tingling effect. For me, it's just part of the stimulation. But with that said, I did take the two last workouts I worked with this, I added my own beta-alanine. So just to balance the effect. So how would I feel with the Performax StimMax without, like, with the beta-alanine? So, you know, all unbiased, all the effect. Okay, so the bottom line is this. You know, what are we looking for from the steam effect of a pre-workout? Now, because we're not talking pumps and stuff like that. From a steam effect of the pre-workout, we're looking for the energy kick. Like, does it get us restless? Does it get us like that rage? I just need to do something. You know what, from my perspective, a lot of the times when I take a pre-workout, I'm trying to understand, does it get me that sense of urgency to just go and do something, right? Like lift something heavy, not just do something, lift something heavy, right? So that's the number one. The second thing, you want to get that focus, that tunnel vision, you know, you're in the zone, you just want to work out. And there's another element, definitely when you go into some exotic stuff like Neopet and stuff like that, you want to get that mood elevation. As far as all of that combined, as far as StimMax. So here's my bottom line here. Like, I didn't get some of this stuff. Like, you get energized. Definitely. You feel that? I mean, there's shitloads of stuff here, so you definitely get energy, and it is prolonged. Like, so I think the Dynamine plus the other stuff definitely gets you. But by the way, Dynamine was somehow promoted as like this big ass thing that's gonna change the world. Honestly, I don't buy into that. I mean, it feels like whatever Theacrine felt like. This feels about the same. I didn't get like more prolonged energy. I didn't get like a stronger type of energy. It just felt about the same. So I just want to put the Dynamine story, well, at least in the context of the StimMax here. As far as the energy kick, there's no rage. Like, the sense of urgency is okay. You're energized, but it's not like, you know, it's not like the Ares sense of urgency, like DMAs. You just need to lift something heavy. You're definitely energized. I really like the focus here. You're in the zone, and I worked one of my workouts just as a test without music, and for me, music is really a part of the experience, and it was okay. Like, I could actually go through my workout. So I really like the energy, but it's not like a rage, sense of urgency type energy. It's just very good energy. It's strong energy, and it's clean energy, and it's prolonged for sure. It's prolonged. But by the way, even though like it's and another point I wanna bring up, even though there's shitloads of stims here, I didn't feel oversteamed. Like, this is not the edge of insanity type, like feeling of overstimulation or like just I don't know why you're feeling high. This is just good energy and good focus, but not tunnel vision. And as far as mood elevation, it's minimal as far as I'm concerned. I didn't really get that mood elevation. So overall, I would say, you know, even though, like, from a formula perspective, if you buy labels, right? And you know, we do need to read into the label when we look at these pre-workouts, but sometimes it's not about the label. It's about actually what you feel. If you buy label, then this is probably one of the best steam packages out there. Really, I mean, Performax couldn't have added anything else here. There's everything here as far as focus and energy. Personal experience-wise, this is more, to me, felt like a good nootropic. Like, I would get this if I just want to do something, like I have work to do, I need to concentrate, I need to write an article, I need to do a review, right? So if I want to focus on something, I would actually get that, because, you know, with like a rage pre-workout, the way that I like, whatever, the Ares type experience, and even the Performax Hypermax, that's the way that I reacted to it. I couldn't just sit down and do work with it. You know, a pre-workout, I can literally sit down and do work with. is a nootropic. It's not a pre-workout. This felt to me more of a nootropic, a very good nootropic. I'm probably gonna be using this one, this baby here, when I actually need to get work done, when I need to have a phone call. So as far as I'm concerned, this is more comparable to Nootropimax from Performax Labs, probably a better version of Nootropimax than a pre-workout. Actually, as far as a pre-workout, I prefer the Performax Hypermax, which is one of my favorite pre-workouts out there. So this is the bottom line about StimMax, baby. It's not always about the label and what it says, at least as far as I'm concerned. But this is my personal opinion, obviously, and this is my personal experience. When you actually give this one a shot, let me know what you think. Or if you tried it already, let me know what you think. Listen, as far as pricing, this goes for $39.99 for 25 servings. Again, like as far as a pre-workout, that is sort of okay. That becomes like the sort of the standard for these fully loaded pre-workouts, but this is not a fully loaded pre-workout. This is a Stim Junkie pre-workout. And more than that, I don't think it's a pre-workout. I think it's more of a nootropic. So it's a bit on the high end, but obviously we're Fitness Deal News. So I'm going to link to the product page on our site so you can compare prices and find out how these deals are out there. Listen, people, if this video was helpful, hit that like button. Show your support to the channel. Listen. And if you're new here, consider subscribing because this is what we do here. We help you make smart decisions about stimulants and everything else fitness. And if you want to save money, you know where to go.